This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
You're like in grade 2 or 3 when you get asked what you want to be when you grow up. You think there's a new answer.
I do think there's a new answer. A very specific type of lawyer. In a world where plants are the new pets and pets are the new children, or so it seems, more people are hiring lawyers to defend their canines.
Oh.
It's a dog lawyer. When I first read this, I was like, dogs are becoming lawyers, as they should. And I was like, wait, no. So there's this woman. Her name's Jennifer Friedman, and she's from Canada. And she says she is one of the growing number of animal law lawyers. So they literally represent these animals. And of course, it's more generally speaking from things like cruelty and neglect.
Sure.
But it's a serious issue.
I wonder if like breakups and who the dog goes to or who gets like the, majority of the custody or whatever.
Yes, but also animals, not just dogs, any animal who is being used for food, fashion, experiments, and entertainment. So things could get pretty intense. They need to make a Legally Blonde 3.
Yeah.
And
the golden retriever.
She does love dogs. She has one.
You know what? Like, I think a lot of kids are going to be worried that they're going to have to deal with lawsuits coming up if you can't dress up your dog.
That's fine. I think. I don't know. I don't think they like it. Sometimes I do see Chihuahuas with them like little sweaters on, and I'm like, how'd they get that on, that Chihuahua? They're pretty feisty.
Yeah. I tried to get a Minion costume when I went as Gru for Halloween. I tried to dress my dog as a Minion. I luckily got a picture, but then he just tore apart the costume. It seemed like he had a pretty good time, though.
I do like hearing about this dog lawyer, though, because I think I'm ready.
Really?
What, like it's hard?
Law school, apparently. Yep, pretty tough.
You didn't know that quote? It's from Legally Blonde. What's wrong with you? Now, my story today is a feel-good story, but I'm sorry in advance if it makes you feel bad about your life. 81-year-old Mildred Wilson just finished her second Tough Mudder race. So I don't know what your excuse is, but this is a 5K obstacle course where when you first start out, you have to roll around in the mud or like run through really thick, deep mud. This is the second time she's finished it, and she's 81.
Insane. I did one of those. And
You did?
Yeah, it was tough. And I was like 33 at the time, probably.
I just think that this is so fantastic. She said her doctor gave her the green light. Her family was there to cheer her on. Her husband was at the finish line. What an accomplishment. At 81, I'm 31, and I have to take the stairs one at a time because my right knee like makes a weird popping sound. So cool.
Tell me something good.
My story is about an anonymous customer who left a $16,000 tip. Little did this customer know that the server they shared the tip with was in a pretty rough place financially because of how devastated the restaurant industry hit because of coronavirus was. So they're very thankful. The server is sharing it with her other staff members.
Are they?
Yeah. Well, that's what they said.
Okay.
But also, the reason I wanted to share this is I just looked at the receipt, and the person got a chili cheese dog.
Wow.
The people that get chili cheese dogs,
They're cool. They're cool
smart,
people.
and they're giving, and they deserve more credit.
Tell me something good.
It's time for the situational 7 at 7, where we count down the top 7 of something. So we've done best hugs, best cries,
best situational beer. And obviously in the top 7, it was like the post lawnmower, lawn care beer.
That's a good one. Yeah.
It is a good one. And this one's kind of the same. It has something to do with the hot weather
and drinks.
But
today we're counting down the top 7 situational drinking vessels.
What's the best thing to drink out of?
I have some honorable mentions just to get us thinking that I don't think will crack the top 7.
Okay, yeah, give us some examples so people can start contributing their thoughts.
The pony jug, great drinking vessel.
Yep.
The handle, super handy.
Handle is great.
You can drink it normal or with a straw.
You don't have to keep going back to the bar for refills as much. You got it all right there.
If your buddy's drink runs out and he's super thirsty and you want to be a supportive friend, pour it in. Exactly. The red Solo cup, I don't think will crack the top 7, so we'll put it as an honorable mention.
I will agree with that because it's really easy to chug, but I don't like how easily your drink can get warm.
And, I don't like beer at all in plastic mugs. I do like drinks with ice in plastic, like red Solo cups a lot.
Yeah, that's true. The another downside to the red Solo cup, though, and why it's not going to crack the top 7 at 7 is... you always lose it. Whose drink is whose, especially after COVID? I don't know how I feel about them.
Thick plastic resort mugs.
I'm trying to picture that.
Like that you'd get a pina colada or a beer in at the resort.
Oh, yeah.
Those ones that you drop and you're like, oh no. And then you're like, oh no, it's fine. You could run over those things with a tank and they would be fine.
Melissa just has a really interesting factoid for us.
Sure.
A condom can hold a liter of fluid.
Not going to make the list.
Not going to make the list, but thank you for the interesting fact. Are we putting the tumbler on the top 7? Because it does keep your drink cold for 8 hours. People love their tumblers.
Okay, we'll put it in at number 7.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Who'd you kick out, though, and turning it into an honorable mention?
The squeezy juice bag is gone.
Ooh, that is unfortunate. But I do have to say the cooling tumbler is better than a squeezy juice box. Sorry.
Johnny, who hosts the show after us in studio early because he's a keener, what should make the list?
A boot.
Ooh, good answer. So a glass boot?
I have glass boots. That's when you want to be classy.
Yeah.
And then when you have had way too many, just any boot possible.
Ew.
Works.
The glass boot, though, I would like to argue I don't think it's going to crack the top 7.
Okay.
Because there's the awkward kickback when the air from the toe... Do you know what I'm talking
But
about?
it's so
No, that's
fun.
on purpose. There's designed to be like that so you inhale it faster.
I like that. Yeah, you're just slamming them then. The kickback is awesome.
That's the best part. That's when it gets wild.
Das Boot from Beer Olympics covered
Yes,
that.
yes.
Yeah, I don't think it actually works like that. Every time I've tried to drink out of a glass boot, it's just ended up on my shirt. But thank you for the suggestion. So we're going with the tumbler, specifically the Contigo tumbler, number 7. Number 6, the next level beer bong. So not just the one like your buddy made with just a hose. We're talking like one with a valve on it.
It's got a stop and go setting. Again, this is the situational 7 at 7. We are counting down the top 7 drink vessels.
Now, with that beer bong, it doesn't necessarily taste great and it's not the most sanitary, obviously. But anytime it comes out, you know you're having a good time. Like, it doesn't come out at a Tuesday afternoon business meeting. So,
I mean, it should.
right. Okay, we'll do number 5 right now as well. The Moscow Mule Cup.
Amazing text rolling into our show.
Absolutely. The double can helmet has been suggested.
How about Strummy's text saying, what about the big plastic Big Gulps cup?
Hey guys! Oh, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
This one almost cracked the list. The stack of cups at a concert.
Or an event.
Yeah. That's
Then you can keep track of what you've been drinking too, and then you're like, oh, I'm at 5. I should mix in a water. Mm-hmm. Captain Crunch always coming through on the text line with amazing stories and contributions to our show. Picture this. He says, 1992, middle of summer, blazing hot day. Your family's chilling in the backyard. You go inside, open the fridge and grab that plastic Kool-Aid jug with the pressure fit lid. No one's around, so you take a swig of that purple goodness because you're a badass and you ain't grabbing no cup.
Yep. Solid suggestion.
Solid.
Almost cracked the top 7, to be honest. And we have my buddy Matt on the phone, who is like the best person to invite to a party ever because he's always got these like
Party
crazy
favors.
little party favors. Yeah, including one that you think should be in the top 7.
Well, I mean, definitely if we're talking like Jell-O shooters, the caulking gun is by far the most efficient method.
How does that work?
So you have like an empty caulking tube. So like don't use real caulking tubes because you're just going to poison yourself, but empty ones. You make your Jell-O shooters, fill them up in that, let them cool off standing up there, and then you pop that into a caulking gun, snip the tip off there, and then you can go around the party just delivering caulk to whoever you want.
So where can you buy an empty caulking gun just at Home Depot?
I've never found them at Home Depot, but places like boating supply shops, like it's only for like people who like make their own canoes and stuff like that seem to have those.
All right, so it's the empty caulking tube that's never had caulking in it and just a normal caulking gun.
Yes.
All right, I don't think it can make the top 7 at 7 because we want like universally agreed upon. That's what this segment's about.
But I hope that inspired someone listening.
I think it did. Number 4, the Starbucks cup with a built-in straw.
So good. People collect those because they're amazing and they keep you hydrated. Having that straw available right there,
awesome.
it helps.
The top 7 drinking vessels. Number 3, hard to argue this, the Frosty mug.
Yep.
Delicious. The bigger the cup, the better, too. Like, I'm talking tankards. Frost them up. Let's go. Number 2 is the clear beer bottle. It is superior for some reason to the brown beer bottle.
Especially that first sip down the neck.
Yeah.
All right.
On a hot day when you can like see the sweat. Honorable mention to the green beer bottle, which is ahead of the brown.
It's not as good as the clear.
But behind the clear. And number 1, I haven't even told you what this is yet.
So Ryder said he was going to surprise us with the number 1, and I'm nervous. It better be good.
It is. I don't think you can argue it. The hose. Drinking straight from a hose. You know
what? We got a lot of texts saying that, and I didn't think that we'd be adding it to the list.
Yeah, it's number 1. I got a day's worth of hydration yesterday just from like watering my plants and a few things. I was just chugging water out of the hose, and I was like, this is the most enjoyable drinking experience I've had in a very long time.
Is that still acceptable?
Yeah, the hose, of course, yeah.
I haven't done that since I was like 12.
I mean, you probably don't want to do it, now that I think about it, a rubber hose in the hot sun all day. You're going to want to not drink the stuff. Yeah, let it run when it gets cold. But delicious.
So refreshing.
Throwback Theater.
You ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready. Action.
I'm not ready for this.
You're not?
Now I am.
Okay.
That Veronica Vaughn is one fine piece of ace. I know from experience, dude, if you know what I mean.
No, you don't.
Well, not me personally, but a guy I know, him and her, got it on. Woo-wee.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. But you could imagine what it'd be like if they did, right? Everybody on? Good, great, grand, wonderful. No yelling on the bus.
Cut. All right, what throwback movie is that?
Why are you looking at me, Swan? It's Billy Madison, bro.
Congratulations, buddy.
Nice work.
Buddy, I am a...
You know what? I'm putting you on hold.
We know RJ. He calls the show often. Sometimes he swears.
If there is anybody in the world I do not trust to put on live radio for the sake of my job,
it's that listener.
It is RJ. So you're on hold. You're still a winner, but we don't trust you.
No chance.
On Play 107.
Seeing a lot of the first day versus last day of school pictures. And man, every time you're like, wow, that kid grew up in that school year.
I love them.
Yeah.
I think that it's so cool to compare the two photos. And I like seeing my friends' kids and how much they've grown. And your daughter, Charlie, she's grown like 4 inches.
It's going to be insane, especially this year, because like I look at some of my best friends that I haven't gotten together with, like our families haven't gotten together. I've maybe like done Zoom calls or whatever, but for a year and a half, like I'm going to see their kids and be like, what? When did you get a teenager? Little kids that are just growing so fast. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this year more than any, it's going to be pretty wild to see other people's kids when like people start gathering again. Like what?
And their personalities are going to be different. It's going to be very interesting. So highly recommend, if you aren't doing that, start doing the first day of school versus last day of school, because it's crazy.
Well, and it's a good reminder of like how quickly they grow up and not to take the moments for granted.
Play 107.
You got some new glasses.
I did. Thoughts?
You're a little scary sometimes. You know that? Brilliant, but scary.
What?
It does not do well to dwell on dreams and forget to live.
I don't understand what's going on.
When in doubt, go to the library.
because I'm wearing glasses, I should go to a library?
You're a wizard, Harry.
Oh.
Those were all just Harry Potter quotes. You get it? Because they're like Harry Potter shaped.
How come instead of saying, I like your new glasses, people have to say things like, oh, you look like this character from a kid's movie or kid's book?
I feel like this is just revenge from the time I came downstairs ready to go out and you said, you look like a dumb Indiana Jones.
I would never say dumb. I said budget. There's a difference.
What do you remember from the last day of school? Like, other than just being super excited for summer?
When you were that young, time stood still. So the summer lasted forever. So just knowing that I didn't have to get up for school the next day was the most freeing, wonderful feeling, like a weight lifted off of your shoulders.
I remember something specifically from my last day of school in grade 7 where I cleaned out my locker and threw everything out. And then my mom was super mad at me because she's like, you could have used those binders next year.
That is very true. But you probably doodled all over them.
I know.
And getting school supplies was only like the only good thing of going back to school.
Yeah, new shoes because you outgrew your other ones and new school supplies. What about you? You remember anything about the last day of school?
Walking home at the end of grade 3 and picking flowers along the way for my mom. And she knew that I stole them from people's houses, but she didn't say anything.
Hey, that seems to be a very common thing that kids do. And I never thought anything of it until I started growing a garden.
Yeah.
You notice when people have been picking flowers off of it because you're the one that's nurturing those plants and watering them every day.
Don't make him feel bad. He was in grade 3.
You should go back and give flowers, not to your mom, but to the house that you stole from.
Oh, all those people are dead anyway.
Play 107.
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.